All right, leave it here then. It's not streaming, but you are just recording it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining on time. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guest today. My name is Rajendran Kalishwaramurthy. I'm going to be the SAA for this meeting. Welcome to MCTC, Malton Community Toastmasters 120th Club meeting. And I would like to begin this meeting by reading the mission statement of Toastmasters and share a few house rules. Okay, so here at Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. The house rules are: please put your phone or mobile phone on silent until the meeting is over. Try to be on camera while you're speaking or giving any speeches. And without any further ado, I would like to hand over the meeting controls to our distinguished president, Toastmaster, Mr. Satish Prabhuji. Please put your hands together for our president, Satish.
Thank you, Rajendran. Wonderful job opening the meeting as an SAA. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And welcome to another wonderful Malton Community Toastmasters meeting. As our SAA mentioned, we empower every member to bring their best out and become a better version of themselves from the time they joined us. And we will continue to strive and live up to that motto. Before we begin, let me look at the agenda and see if there is any changes needed. Can we take a look at the agenda and confirm that we have good to go with the agenda?
Mr. President, Kiran was supposed to TMOD. She hasn't joined yet.
Okay.
So I will take over as TMOD.
Okay. If you want me to continue, I can do that as well. If you have.
Okay. But as it suits, so that's fine. So I will put your name as TMOD then.
Okay. If she shows up in the next few minutes, great. If not, then I will continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone else is here. Mr. Bukhari is doing table topics. Ravinder is GE.
Yeah.
Anupama is doing evaluation. You are also evaluating.
Okay.
Kiran was evaluating, so we'll have to have third evaluator here.
Okay.
Actually, we don't even need evaluation for that, but if someone wants to, it's just an information session about international speech that we are getting into this on December 5. So I am handling that component. So I hope she joins, because she always comes in. Maybe some technical problem at her end.
Yeah.
Kamal is here. She's a grammarian, but I think she has some issues with her audio. Kamal, can you, are you okay now? Can I hear your sweet voice again? So Kamal will be more through our, so yes, Kamal, no problem. You can type your message in the chat if you can. So we have already made word of the day for you, so you don't have to stress out. You can just give us a goal, how many times we have to speak, and we will carry over from there. Rajendran is here. Everyone else is here. Only Kiran is not in the meeting.
Okay, awesome. Before we proceed, Kamal, maybe I can help. Do you have your laptop where you can look at your mic sources and see if you can switch that source? Then you will be able to, you're on a phone. You don't have a laptop. You're not connected through a laptop.
Yeah, she's not connected on laptop. She is on phone today.
Oh,
Kiran is Kiran is joining in.
okay. So Kiran just joined, or is that Stand Proud Gavel Club?
Yes, she is Kiran.
Okay, so she is here. Wonderful. So she can then take over as the team mod. So Kiran, you're ready to take over as a team mod, right?
T mode? Sure. I wasn't sure that I was doing T mode.
but your name
I
is on
thought
the
I was
agenda.
evaluating Roger Caesar.
Yeah, so when you said feel free to assign Kiran, I put your name in there.
Okay.
Okay, so now you know.
That's the beauty of instant responsibility.
Hello जी, देव जी कैसे हो आप?
I'm fine. Small world.
Yes, nice to see you here.
Okay, cool.
All
Let's
right.
carry on.
So we have all the role players now, so we can definitely begin the meeting. This is great. Great to see everybody involved and going. So once again, welcome everyone. And I will pass on the baton to our Toastmaster, Kiran.
Thank you. Satish, can you please share the updated agenda? I do not have the updated agenda with me with all
I will-
the recent changes to reflect.
Okay.
I probably will have a link.
Can you please post it in Zoom chat?
Yes, right now.
Thank you
Right
so
now.
much.
Doing it.
I'm doing.
Can you see it now?
Okay, so Rajendran took the lead.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Can you please post this somewhere?
I will post it, but
Yeah.
for now, you can, until you get it from someone, I would like to just have
Give
you.
me 1 second, Kiran. You will see it in the chat in a second.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did it go? Disappeared again. Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to Malton Community Toastmasters 120th meeting. Success belongs to those who strive for it. The success is everywhere all around us. We cannot wait for success to come to us. It is everywhere. It is up to us whether we strive and get to it or not. Through hard work, determination, and dedication, we will be able to accomplish what we wanted to do. In order for that to happen, we all need a vision. A vision is nothing but, it is like a GPS. It tells us where we're headed and where we're going. Again, with hard work and determination, we will be able to accomplish our dreams and goals and get to that vision, which equates to success. I will now invite our Sergeant at Arms, Rajendran, to open the meeting.
Oh, he has already opened the
Is that,
meeting. That's why
is
you
that
are here.
done? Okay,
It's
thank
done.
you. Sorry, I just logged in late. We do have some guests in the house today. So let's look at some guests and see who we have here.
We have Devdutt Sharma.
We have Devdutt Sharma. Devji, welcome to Malton Community Toastmasters Club. Please tell us a few words about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Devdutt Sharma. So basically I work for a software company. I'm a software engineer. And I have done my master's of computer science from India. And here I joined my Kubra. This is my name of the company. That is, we are dealing with the online payments and the billing. And that's it for my professional life. And I'm here in Canada from last 12 years. I live in Malton. So
Welcome, Devji. Welcome to Malton Community Toastmasters Club. This is where we help and support each other to grow and develop both communication as well as leadership skills. Let us now move over to our humorist, greeter, Toastmaster Paul Chima. Paul, over to you.
Muted.
Mute.
Paul, you are muted.
Ah, my goodness. That was humor in itself. Okay. Sorry for that. I will try to make you laugh. And if I can't, please don't feel bad. I will do my best. Every business, you know, if someone is successful in that, they have a specific name assigned to them. For example, you see tiger of real estate, lion of real estate, right? You see those names. So what would you call a super successful poultry farmer? Anyone?
Chicken king.
Chicken
sorry?
laser,
Chicken wing.
A chick magnate.
chick magnet.
Okay.
Right? So now coming to the real joke here. 4 buddies, they caught up for coffee after a long time after high school. So everyone wanted to tell other one that he is richer and more successful than other people. So the first one said, "Oh, you see that building up there?" He said, yeah, I see that. "Oh, I'm going to buy that in next 6 months." The second guy said, "You see that hotel building right next to the bank? I'm going to buy that in the next 6 months." Wow. And the third person, he said, "Oh, you see that shopping complex, the entire where the bank and hotel all are located, the big strip mall? I'm going to own that in the next 6 months." The fourth person was very quiet. So they asked, "You don't have to buy anything?" He said, no. I'm not selling all those things now. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paul. It is hard to believe you being a real estate agent, all you know is to sell, and nothing but sell. And I know for sure you are not the fourth person because you would never say that.
Yep.
Thank you. Let us keep moving with the agenda for the benefit of new members. In this club, we do have some role players who help us to organize the meeting and take us on through the many roles so we can learn through the roles that we take on and also from each other. So to introduce a team of role players today, I will first invite the timer for today, Toastmaster Paul Chima. Paul, can you please explain your role to us?
Thank you very much, Kiran.
Thank you.
So for the sake of members and the guest, Devdutt, this is how our meetings are run. We try to run our meetings on time. We have separate timing segments for speeches, for table topics, for evaluation of speeches, and for general evaluators timing. So for example, the speeches mostly are 5 to 7 minutes. So when the speaker hits 5 minutes mark, they will see a green background behind me. Can you see green background? So they will see green background behind me. This means they are within their time limit. But when they reach the midpoint, in this case, it is 6 minutes, then my background will change to amber or yellow. So this gives an indication to the speaker that it's time to start wrapping up their thoughts. And when we reach the last minute, which is 7 minutes, they will see my background as red. Red means they are at the end of their time limit, but they can still speak for 30 more seconds. But this is for the main speeches. But for table topics, the timings are 1 to 2 minutes. So you will see green screen at 1 minute, amber at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. For evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes, 2 minutes green, 2.5 amber, and 3 minutes red. This is just to respect timing for all the members who are participating in the meeting, so we can run the meeting on time. I think I made a good explanation. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. To not only to follow the timings in this meeting, but time management is an important skill in our personal life. Time management is also an important skill in our professional life. Both in personal and professional life, we all say time is limited and time is short. Unless we organize ourselves, we will not be able to accomplish what we wanted to, which in other words is success. And success only belongs to those who strive for it by being organized and by managing time. And this is one of the ways we learn to manage time in Toastmasters. I will now invite our second role player, Kamaljeet Bola. Kamaljeet, I don't see Kamaljeet here.
Kamaljeet has some challenges
Okay.
today.
Hello, Kamaljeet. We now have our next role player, Kamaljeet Bola, as the grammarian for today. Kamaljeet, over to you so you can explain your role to us.
Kamal has some issues with her audio today, Kiran.
Kamal, if you are using your laptop, get rid of your headset and that will make it very easy.
She's using on a phone. She's on a phone.
You have to join audio if you are on a phone.
So Kamal, you have a meeting invite. You can use that. You need to dial a number and just join audio mode.
So we will get back to Kamaljeet. While Kamal is sorting her things out, she is also the counter. Kamaljeet is also the counter for today. Paul, did the agenda change? Do we have a new counter?
No, we can. I don't know if we have any person spare here who can do that because everyone has a role assigned.
Okay.
I can do it, Paul.
Oh, okay, Haseen can do grammarian role. That's fabulous. Haseen can do grammarian. He has been done a couple times.
Okay,
Thank you very
perfect.
much, Haseen.
So Haseen, over to you to introduce the word of the day and also explain your role as the counter. Over to you, Haseen.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today I have been assigned as the role as a grammarian and counter. So as a grammarian, my role is to find out or just to pinpoint those words which are pronounced wrongly or any, as well as those words. There are some counters, like during this speech, we take pauses or some other words, slang words. So my role is to count those words and as well as the words which are pronounced in incorrect way. So at the end of the meeting, I will give my report that how many times those words were pronounced wrongly. And so today I'm because the role is just assigned to me, so I'm not sure about the word of the day. So
Word of the day has already been mentioned. It is accomplishment. You just have to give us number of times we should say that.
oh, okay. So for accomplishment, 20 times I think would be enough.
Thank you, Toastmaster Haseen, for setting a goal of using the word of the day, accomplish or accomplishment, 20 times.
Yes.
I request all speakers, those who approach the podium to speak, no matter what we say, I will challenge each of us to use that word at least 2 times in whatever we say, whatever role we have, and that will help us achieve the goal of using the word of the day 20 times meaningfully. Let us keep moving. The meeting today will happen in 3 sections. The first section is prepared speeches, where speakers come prepared with a speech from one of their Pathways projects. The second section is table topics, where we will be challenged to think on our feet when a random topic is thrown at us. And the third section in today's meeting is the evaluation portion. This is the most important part of the meeting, where we will get to see how well we did, what are the areas where we can possibly improve, and how we can actually improve. And paying attention to all 3 sections of today's meeting, we will be able to accomplish the goal for which we actually joined Toastmasters, to improve communication and leadership skills. So without any further delay, let us move on to the first section in today's meeting, which is the speeches section. The first speaker for today is distinguished Toastmaster Madan Chauhan. To introduce Toastmaster Madan Chauhan's project, I now invite his evaluator, who is Anupama, to introduce the project objectives for Madan Chauhan's speech. Anupama, over to you.
Welcome, Toastmaster and my fellow Toastmaster members. Today, I got privilege to be evaluator of our distinguished Toastmaster's speech, which is Mr. Madan Chauhan, and his speech title is Fail to Succeed. The purpose of his objective of his speech is, the purpose of this project is for member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. And the other objective of this speech is for the member to inspire the audience. So overall, the objective is to inspire the audience with the contents of his speech and also how he delivered it. So I will look for the areas where I can provide feedback as per my own judgment, on my own observation on his speech. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Anupama. Today, distinguished Toastmaster Madan Chauhan is speaking from his path, Persuasive Influence. He is working on level 3 in his path, and the elective he is working on is Inspire Your Audience. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, help me welcome our first speaker for today, distinguished Toastmaster Madan Chauhan. Fail to succeed. Fail to succeed, distinguished Toastmaster Madan Chauhan.
Mr. Chauhan, let me know when you're ready to speak so I can start the timer. We cannot hear you.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, now right.
Can you
All
see
fine.
me okay?
Yes, let me know when you're ready to speak.
I'm going to be ready. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Fail to succeed. What a coincidence. The theme of the meeting is success belongs to those who strive for it. Well, is that feeling is a part of the life, or is it a necessity, or does it happen automatically? Well, what does the feeling teaches you? When we're saying striving for it or accomplishing something in your life, what is the role of the feeling? What do you learn from your feeling? Failing is as important as success. If you look in the dictionary, fail comes first, success comes afterwards. Whenever you try something, if you are not successful, what you call that? Mostly people call it, I failed. I failed to do something. Or in a better way, I did not succeed. Or even a better way to say is, I learned something from this experience. Many of you remember or know Edison. How many times you think Edison failed to perfect the light bulb? People say it's over 1,000 times. When it was asked to him, did you fail 1,000 times? He said, no. I now know more than 1,000 ways this world will not work. So he learned the experience. I'm going to share with you a very small example of my own. It didn't take a long time away to happen on your own yesterday. When we talk about the time limit or time conscious, I was doing a project from my work, which has to be done by the 25th of November. And believe it or not, I've done it many times before, but in the last 3-4 days, I failed 6 times to accomplish it. No, I didn't fail 6 times. I learned that 6 times it won't work for me. I was getting frustrated. And I was keep on striving for it to do it. What did I do? I go through the whole project again. I spent about 3 hours yesterday going through that and saying to myself, why I'm not accomplishing it. When I looked at it deep into it, the questions were negatively asked in the paper. Not saying what you do, the question, what you won't do. Now, our mentality is sometimes we don't look at the negative, we're looking at what is good. But the questioner was asking examiner in that a negative portion of that question. And I was not thinking that way. When I go through the whole project again, I start making notes of that. I begin to see the question he is looking for is not mentioned in that project. Because it's not mentioned in the project, that's what I have to answer. So I keep on striving and trying to accomplish it, believe it or not. The one I failed 6 times, I passed yesterday with a 90% marks. So I keep on doing and I accomplished my test. I passed it and also within the time limit. How many of you have that experience in your life? I'm sure many of you have that similar experience in your life. What you call it again? If you keep on calling it failing, then you will keep on failing. If you call it I'm learning, then you keep on learning. It's the best way is to say that I'm learning, not I'm failing. We also know, we heard that so many times, opportunity knocks your door. What's that mean? Success is knocking your door, but you are not opening it. Does that mean the physical door you're not opening it? Or is it the mental door you're not opening it? Success is not walking through your door, it's walking through your mental door when you open it. How many of you heard about this one very prominent politician who been known as the father of the US nation or the one of the best president of the USA? I mean to say Abraham Lincoln. How many of you know his story? How many times he failed? If he has given up, do you think what is known for today, you have known it today? What I was thinking of that Abraham Lincoln yesterday, it reminded me of his words, the last words, but he mentioned there saying, do not give up. When I was unable to accomplish my test to pass it, and I was really frustrated, I thought of him saying, do not give up, one more try. So when I did one more try, I accomplished my result and I said, you can do it as well, as long as you do not say, I give up. Thank you very much, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Madan Chauhan, for that inspiring speech. Fail to succeed. The theme for today's meeting is success belongs to those who strive for it. But after listening to DTM Madan Chauhan, can we say that Instead of let's striving to succeed, can we say let's strive to fail? Think about it. DTM Madan Chauhan has inspired us that if we strive to fail, it implies that we are automatically going to succeed. I liked what he reminded us about. You have to open doors to success. It is opening the mental door with a positive mindset, a mindset that is ready to accept challenges and ready to face failures, because with failures will come success. If you have children at home, you may want to go and ask them. In school, they're all learning about growth mindset, which is nothing but being ready to fail so it leads us to success. A wonderful speech, DTM Madan Chauhan. Thank you for that inspirational speech. Now let's move on to our second speaker. Before we do that, I will ask the timer for 30-second
1 minute.
moment of silence for the evaluator to make notes.
30 seconds or 1 minute?
1 minute, but I spoke for 30 seconds, so 30 more seconds.
Well, maybe they were not thinking that they are starting the evaluation. So let's give them 1 minute at least.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, timer.
Evaluator can signal if she has completed, so we can end early. I'm a tough timer. Don't forget that. Rajendran, great work with spotlighting. 5 stars.
Just learning.
Yep.
Failed a couple of times, and today I accomplished it.
Yes. Ten seconds to go. One minute is over, madam.
Thank you, timer Paul. I will now invite the evaluator for our second speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Prabhu, to tell us about the project objectives of the second speaker. DTM Satish, over to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Shilpa is trying to accomplish with her speech the impact on professional and personal relationships of a communication style. I'm very eager to listen to her speech and what she has to offer today. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Satish. Our second speaker for today is Toastmaster Shilpa. Shilpa is speaking from her path, Presentation Mastery. She is working on her level 2, Understanding Communication Style Speech. Her speech title is My Communication Style. Shilpa Shivamallu. My Communication Style. Shilpa Shivamallu. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Shilpa, let me know when you are ready to speak, so I can start the timer.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to share my screen, but you can see my screen, right?
You need to get into presentation mode. See at the top tab, it says present.
Yes, yeah. Okay, good to go, please. It's clear. My picture is clear, right? So it's not blurred. It's good.
No, it's fine. You are good to go.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today I'll be presenting my communication skills. And first of all, I'll ask you, do you know which communication style you use to accomplish your goals. And I would like to know, let me start about Toastmaster International approach. So which is worldwide recognized, and these are the 4 approaches. The first one is direct, second one is initiative, third one is supportive, fourth is analytic. So I would like to say direct communication skills. So when I'll be using this most often in workplace as well as at home. So at home, if I say for example, I'll tell my daughter, I'll ask question directly saying that, Shreya, did you complete your work? Tomorrow you have exam. So did you study for that? And these approaches, the person will be very demanding and he's focus oriented and the task oriented people. The second approach is initiating. So initiating are the person or the way of the communication style. They are fun loving and make friends very easily, and even enthusiastic and making friends people. So like say for example, I use this often with my colleagues or with my friends. Say for example, when I moved to Canada, I don't have any friends. When I go out, usually I say everyone hello, good morning, bonjour, comment ça va, something very often, so that I'll make friends easily. And the next point is supportive. Supportive is often I use communication skill in office as well as at home. So my husband comes and says to me, Shilpa, do you know I did not get any hikes this in the bonus or in my salary? He'll be very sad. So I'll give him a supportive saying that okay, it's okay. So you can get hike in the next year. Be calm. And you can ask your boss or tell your boss that I'm making like a productive way, I'm working productive way, and even delivering the projects on time, giving my best, reaching the goals to accomplish the assignments to be delivered and successfully. But still, what is the thing need to be improved, and where is need to be improved? So you can just ask your boss and correct it, and next time you can get your bonus hike. So that's what I give encouraging words to my hubby, that whenever he comes and says this words. So not only that, even I use these communication styles at work. For example, at work, my junior colleagues say that, Shilpa, I did not finish the work. Tomorrow we need to deliver the reports to the client. Okay, I will give a supportive hand to him, saying that, okay, it's okay, I'll help you in one task, so you can concentrate in other tasks, and we will finish as a team work, and we will deliver the report by tomorrow successfully with quality, maintaining quality, and accomplish the goals. So the fourth point is analytical. So this is where we use usually at office. Like this guy is very precise and result oriented and even organized in his work, and perfectionist and logical thinking. The way he expresses his communication style in figure or in the diagram way. And most often I use this at work to deliver or to give the result in a diagrammatic way. Like, for example, when I want to deliver the report, sales report, monthly sales report, monthly growth of the sales, or the product quality, what was the product quality for the last 1 year and how we achieved successfully, the quality has been improved for the next 1 week or the next year or coming year, how will be improved. So diagrammatically, I can say I'll give the report to my manager so that the manager will be happy regarding my report. So these are the 4 techniques which Toastmasters International provided us to accomplish the goals in communication skills. And I usually suggest or recommend to everyone to use this in daily activity, daily situation, whatever the situation you're going through. So you use this all four approaches and make you successful. And it makes you successful to succeed in every situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shilpa, for reminding us once again about the 4 styles of communication: initiating, analytical, direct, and supportive. You are absolutely right. In our day-to-day interactions, whether it is in our families or at work, we have to look at who the audience is and choose the best style of communication. For example, I cannot go to my mother-in-law and say, "Hey, Mom, 89.9% of the time, I greet you and I talk to you with respect. And I ask you for so many tips and you always give them to me. Thank you for that." I can't say that to my mother-in-law. There is a time and place for a type of communication. At the same time, I can't go to my superintendent or my boss and say, "Hey, yeah, how are you?" I cannot say that. She is not my friend. So depending on who the audience is, depending on the context, we have to choose the best style of communication that will help us accomplish our goals. Thank you, Toastmaster Shilpa, for that. The third speaker for today is Toastmaster Paul Chima. And Paul will be talking to us and giving us some tips for the upcoming speech contest. I will now invite our VP Education, Toastmaster Paul, to give us some tips to get ready for the upcoming contest. Toastmaster Paul, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. So I am a kind of wild card who fits in so many places. So please give me 1 second before I start my presentation. So I am being timed by Anupama. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Paul, we can see. Thank you.
Fabulous. So this is a special session that I decided to run myself. We are looking for a guest speaker who, for some reason, couldn't be here. December 5 is our international speech contest at the club level. So I gathered some thoughts and put into a little presentation. I hope that this helps you. If there are any questions, you can ask me at the end of this meeting or after end of this presentation. This is going to run for 15 to 20 minutes. Anupam, you can time me 15, 17, and 20. So succeeding in speech contest. When I contested last year, I didn't know what I should be looking for. it is very important to know how you are going to be evaluated and what the important ingredients of a very good speech. If you know how examiner is going to mark you in an examination, you are already prepared for it, aren't you? I guess we are, right? So in this sequence, there are a couple things that you should be aware of when you are contesting in a speech contest. Know your speech, know your stage, and know your audience. So these are three critical components of being successful in a speech contest. And let's take them one by one. So know your speech, the content, because content is 50% of your overall evaluations. So when you are preparing your speech, make sure to write it, because unless you put it on a piece of paper, you won't go through the whole different levels of contest. That was where I failed. I won't say I failed following Mr. Madan Chauhan's speech. I would say I learned another thing. I never wrote my speech, but I still went all the way up to district level, which was cool for me. I thought I'm going to hit international speech contest this year, but it wasn't meant to be because I never wrote that. I never practiced that with timer. My practice was the last minute. So as a hint, practice your speech, keeping your timer in front of you. There are so many easy ways to time. All phones or all smart devices are equipped with timer. So use that and see how long you take to finish your speech, and then rewrite, rephrase your sentences, choose simple words, and make it more effective. Then do practice again. You can practice in a club. You can practice with a couple of people from any Toastmaster club, or maybe your own family. Once you are comfortable, then go for presentation. That is going to be your day. Trust me on this. If you can do that, nobody can stop you from excelling in your speech contest. All with me on this so far? Thank you. Well, keep giving me feedback, because that keeps inspiring me as I go. And now, talking about your stage. So what do you think is your stage? Can anyone say anything about it?
Your Zoom screen.
Yeah,
For
whether
now.
you are physically giving the speech or you are going online.
Yeah, we're talking, right now we are online.
Right.
Right now we are online, otherwise we all know where stage is. But today in this world, we are all online. So what is your online stage? Karen said, the
Zoom.
screen.
The screen, yeah.
Fantastic. So how about my own house? This is my international stage. This is where I can move around. This is where I can talk. So this is my stage. In order for me to prepare this, you have to do some efforts, because this is going to present you as a great speaker. And look at that. That clutter you may not want in your speech. Maybe put up a white cloth, or just remove all of them, or use a blank wall, because the less the distraction, the better the attention of the audience. So this is what your stage is. You know your surroundings. And the second thing that I want to talk about is you control your space. This is my space. I can start my speech from here. I can move in. I can do some weird effects, then go back, and I can control my whole speech, my space. An auditorium is what you're looking at. You're not looking at my room. You are only looking at a portion of my room, but that is my auditorium. Your house, your computer screen is my auditorium. So if you know these factors, trust me, this is going to be a big leverage in succeeding in any contest. We are learning every day from our experience. And then the second thing, which is very important, is the delivery. Can you tell me who has mastered the art of delivery? It may be outside of Toastmasters. No one?
Oprah Winfrey.
No one? Okay.
Oprah
It is
Winfrey.
Jeff. I'm sorry?
I just mentioned Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey. Fantastic. And just for the lighter side of it is Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, isn't it? So the better the delivery, the more the effect. So when you order things from Amazon, you know it's going to come in quickly and you are very comfortable, you can return it. There is some connection. So your delivery should be able to create a connection with the audience. Let's go there. If you watch the videos of international speakers who were first, second, and third position holder this year, you will see that they all shared a story. And the story was very powerful. Someone, the person who came at second position, I forgot his name, but he took you back in time. You know how he did it? He said, I will take you back to time. And this is what he did. So he delivered. He actually took his audience from one point in time to another point in time, just from the comfort of his house. Amazing technique he used. We saw Roger Caesar using that Viper effect once he was talking about his vehicle, which he never took care of. That is the delivery. That is the connection. Try to get there. And it is not a rocket science. We never knew those things, but more and more participation in the Toastmaster clubs exposed me to those things. So I learned how to do a better delivery. Stand up for delivery. You notice I was sitting before, but then I decided I should stand up, because when you stand, it is more power. Your body is in sync. Your thoughts are flowing and your mouth is outputting your thoughts in a very effective manner. You can move your arms, you can show your hand gesture, you can articulate the way you want. That's what you want, don't you? So standing up is always powerful. I'm controlling the PowerPoint presentation using my phone. That's why I have it. But do not have anything in your hand when you're on international stage. It is not recommended. For this speech, I will just live with it. And then invoke interest with a great opening. Do you know what it takes to be a successful speech contestant? I'm going to share some amazing tips today that will make you a great speaker. Are you interested in them? Share. And then you continue with your speech. Carry on. Use hand gestures as much as you can, because your arms are free. People talk using hand gestures because we are more visual, and that adds more power to our speech. The level of interest of an audience goes from here to here when you are using hand gestures. It is so simple. If I'm talking about a brain, I can say this. I don't have to elaborate. In my head, I was thinking, this can happen. So try to use hand gestures. I know I have seen many people, they use their hands so powerfully that you can actually see the words coming out of the mouth before they even speak, because sometimes they are so energetic, their hand gestures run faster than their lips. And if you're using props, use props and keep them close to you. I was looking at Verity's speech, which I will share in a few minutes here. She talks about a letter from her dad that she found in her mess. And she actually had a piece of paper, a long piece of paper, folded 3-4 times. And that was the letter she was reading on stage. Avoid questions to save time. Like, I had a lot of time in this presentation, so I stopped. But if you are in Zoom platform, do not engage into question answer session because that's going to eat up your time. When I ask a question, you see how someone took time to unmute themselves and then respond. If you have to ask a question, say, do you agree with me on this or not? I think that becomes much easier. And if you are watching the whole gallery of participants, try that technique. I found it very impressive. And avoid virtual screens. Toastmasters doesn't talk about using virtual speech. They don't recommend, they don't say you don't use it, but do not use virtual screens because they eat into your hands. They just vanish. It's not a good idea. It is better to have a blank, flat wall than using a screen because that's going to cut into the effectiveness of your speech. This is my recommendation. Learning, saying from my own learnings. If you do that, I think that will be way better. I would have put a cloth on here because that would make it very simple for me. But since it was the last minute, I decided to be myself in the spotlight, so I didn't get the chance to do it. But take a plain background. All good so far? Thank you. Now your stage. Do you know who she is? She is #1 placeholder, Verity Price. This is how people saw her in the auditorium, which is your house and your screens. Happy? She looks impressive, isn't she? She isn't using any background. It is a flat wall. But let's see the reality. And the reality is, this is her stage. Can you believe that? Such a clutter. And she shared it on LinkedIn. The truth behind my finals video, thought I should share the space I presented from in order to achieve a plain background. My parents-in-law's study was turned upside down. There was nothing glamorous about my international stage. It was also freezing. If you are striving to create a perfect space, you should remember this space. Because this is how she was. This is how her stage was. But look at the outcome. She took first position. So do you think you can do that? Thank you. I see couples hands here. So it is so easy because my stage is my house and I know it. I can plan it. I only need to know what you can see on my screen. That's it. And that I have to make spotlessly clean. I have so much clutter on this side, so much clutter on that side, but you won't see that. You can do that. Don't worry about having a perfect background. Nothing is perfect in this world. And nobody is more knowledgeable when it comes to talking about components of speech. We have distinguished Toastmasters, Madan Chauhan, Satish, and our all-time favorite, Kiran Patula. So they will all agree with me that every speech has to have an opening, body, and summary. The critical components are opening and summary. In between, you can put anything you want. An opening has to be very interesting, that can invoke people's attention and they are on the edge of their seat thinking what you are going to say next. Just like watching a thriller. They keep you on the edge. When one episode on Netflix ends, you never give up. You scroll to the next one because you are so much engaged in the content and they know how to deliver the content. But if you see them shooting, you will say, is that garbage that show us on a finished product? Some people will lose interest in watching movies if they see actual shootout being in front of them. So opening has to be very exciting and it doesn't have to be very long. But then comes in between opening and body is address. Contest chair. Don't forget to address contest chair. Contest chair, this is my topic. You can do that in the beginning, or you can do in between somewhere, body and opening. Contest chair, do you know what it takes to be a successful speaker? I never knew that. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So this is how you flow into your body. And the body is nothing but maybe 2 or 3 arguments to support your opening. And then it should smoothly flow into a summary. The summary rolls back into the opening where you started. Most of the time, it will be, I think, if you follow these steps, nobody can stop you from succeeding in speech contest. Do you think you are doing it? It can be a simple ending, but wrapping around so people know you are ending speech. And I guess if you watch a movie, you know the movie is about to end because the sequence is set in such a way that you start figuring out it's going to end. And you know when the climax is to come. This is how it has to happen in speech contest too. But let's talk about how you are being judged when you're speaking. This is a matrix. And then you are given some points by the judges. You don't see judges. You don't know who the judges are. They are virtual, they are hidden. They are wearing that cape that makes them disappear. And then on these 3-4 points that you look at, excellent, very good, good, fair, is how you are evaluated. You are given a score on this. And 1 to 3 to 10 is the number of contestants. And let's look at the first criteria, which is content. If you look at that, the one I highlighted in red, it shows 50% is given to the content, which is your speech development. Are you following the structure? Body, opening, body, and summary. And how effective is your purpose? Did you achieve your purpose of the speech? So when you declare your purpose, is your speech doing justice with that? And how much interest you invoked? How was audience reacting or responding? It's difficult in virtual forum, but still they do it. And then speech value, ideas, logic, original thought. You cannot use another speaker's speech content and put in here. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 75% or 70% should be your original ideas. Am I right, Satish or Kiran? Rest can be quoted, but it should not be entirely quoted unless it's a research project. But who does research project in speech contest? Nobody. So 50% your content, and then this is another 30% here, which is delivery, 30%, guys. So if you know how to deliver, this is what moves you toward the winning edge. I never knew that, but I'm seeing it right now with you. And you see the scores are given. If you are excellent, the judge will give you 10 marks. If you are very good, they will give you 7 to 9. If you are good, 4 to 6. And when they totally top up, all up, then they will grade you A, B, or C. This is how it is such an objective method that nobody can favor anyone. This is a cool matrix developed by Toastmaster International. I'm very fond of this. And they look at your physical, are you dressed right? Your body language, your speaking area, are you using speaking area? Voice, flexibility, volume, manner. How you do that? If you can learn those things, trust me, amazing. And this is the last one, language, 20%. Appropriateness to speech, purpose, and audience. Are you straying away from your topic? Right? Correctness, grammar, pronunciation, word selection. Don't get discouraged. My pronunciation sometimes is very bad because English was never my first language, but I'm okay with it. And they understand because Toastmaster International has participants from all over the world and they all don't have English as first language. So don't let this inhibit you, but go with a conviction, go with confidence. Just do that. All these make 100 points. And if you can score better, bingo, you are there. Attributes. I'm going to talk about these two different contests that we're running for percentage of speech that matters. The content is 50% in speech and 55% in table topics. And delivery is 30% here, 30% for table topics. Language 20% and 15% because it's impromptu speaking. I guess they give some leverage. That's okay. But you have 55 and 30% to score. This is how you should target your speech. Be better in a couple of things. And I'm going to quickly run this video and we can talk about certain things during this video or after this video. Verity Price, first place winner. And I want you to kindly pay attention to this video. It's 7 minutes long, but let it run. I see red card, but I'm still going to run this video. It's very important to notice, and maybe you can replicate the topics. After this, I will just wrap up. Thank you. Can you hear my audio? Oops.
You will have to, I think, share your audio when you share screen, share computer audio.
Yes, I forgot to do that, but I will do that right now. Sorry for that. Thanks and for the heads up.
We're here now.
Contestant number 4, Verity Price. A great read. A great read, Verity Price.
When I was a little girl, I used to love snuggling on my dad's lap while he read me fairy tales. Not surprisingly, I grew up wanting the fairy tale. To be happily married with beautiful kids, a gorgeous home, and a great career by 30. I never dreamed I would turn 40, unmarried, no children, and living in my sister and brother-in-law's spare room. For my ego, this was a scary tale. So I hid in the spare room, eating ice cream and binge watching Netflix. Contest chair, have you ever noticed that at your worst, you always run into someone at their best? I had dragged myself to the shops.
So far as, have you seen how he started her opening? You noticed how she created interest. She talks about that she loved fairy tales, but it ended up as a scary tale. And you notice her hand gestures. Please pay close attention. This could be your chance to win your
more
next
ice
speech.
cream, thinking no one I know is going to be there. But there she was, that friend. You know the one. Their life is perfect. And they tell you. Here I am, hand on fridge, stuck, having to hear how happily ever after she has ended up. Are you married? With kids? And your own business? And you bought a house? Me? Great. I wanted to die. I was a mess. My life was a mess. The spare room was a mess. But this was the mess where I found the last letter my dad ever wrote me. Seeing his familiar handwriting just flooded me with grief. Verity, your life is a book. And if you're not enjoying the read, write a different story. And then watch for a miracle, because I'm watching too. fish out of miracles, Dad. And how? How do I write a different story about this? To prove my point, I went to Facebook. And you guessed it, there were no stories of miserable 40-year-olds living in spare rooms. But the letter just lay there. It was like it was looking at me, almost whispering, write a different story. If anyone could write a different story, it was my dad. He wasn't a glass half full guy. He was a, aren't I lucky I've got a glass guy. When Dad was 60, he lost his job. We lost our home and we had to live in a camper van. But the story Dad told was, we get to live like we're on holiday. He never complained that he'd gone from a corner office to selling insurance door to door. Instead, the story he told was, I'm working on my sales skills. And the miracle that happened, Dad was Salesman of the Year, and he bought us a new home. And even in our last phone call on his way to hospital, do you know what he said to me? Don't worry, V. You know I love breakfast in bed. Shame hit me like a bus. My whole life, Dad had been showing me how to write a different story. So I picked up my pen. I looked at that friend and I thought, 40 is going to be my best chapter. I looked at the spare room and thought, this is my safe place to start over. I looked at my love life, and do you know what I thought? I have got to stop kissing frogs. When I wrote a different story, my life began to change. I went from feeling shameful to feeling grateful. And for the first time, I stopped worrying about where I wasn't. And I started enjoying where I was. And the miracle that happened, within 6 months, I'd moved into a new cottage, much to my sister's relief. Within a year, I'd kissed a prince, much to my relief. At 44, I had a baby boy, much to my doctor's disbelief. This letter catapulted me into discovering that it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what chapter of your life you're in. Something as simple as choosing to write a different story can make difficult circumstances a lot easier to deal with. Now, I think you'll agree with me when I say the last 2 years have been a rough read for us all. But we've also written different stories, ones where neighbors get to serenade each other and businesses get to pivot and innovate. And my all-time favorite was that time when we all waved our wands and buppity, your room turned into an auditorium and mine an international stage. My fellow storytellers, do you know what I've learned? Fairy tales are great to read to my son. Real life is full of detours, delays, things that go wrong. But if your life is a book, then every day you get to decide, is your story being written for you or by you? When my dad reminded me that I was the author of my life changed. So if you're looking for a change, you want a new chapter, or you just fancy a miracle, pick up your pen and write a different story. Trust me, it's going to make for a great read. Contest chair.
So you saw that. You saw she wasn't holding a phone in her hand, but she was actually Facebooking using her hand as a prop. and it was a blank paper she was holding. But did you see? She was reading from blank paper. That was practice. So you all can do that, and we must do that. And rest. This is all recap we have talked about. Practice, practice, practice. Time. Position webcam at your eye level. Avoid using virtual screen. Have appropriate lighting. Don't use a phone during your presentation. Incorporate your hand gestures. Dress appropriately for the occasion. And use and keep props within your range that you can just pick it up like she did. With that, back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paul, for that education session on giving us tips on getting ready for the upcoming contest. I also appreciate you reinforcing all of those skills with an example of a world champion of public speaking. I'm looking at the clock right now. I'm not sure if we have time for table topics because we have gone way over time. Time now is 7:17. However, I know our table topics master would have prepared for some topics. So not to disappoint the table topics master, I will now invite our table topics master to perhaps give a topic to one person who does not have a role in the meeting. So I invite our table topics master, Toastmaster Mohammad Bukhari, to just do one topic. Mohammad Bukhari, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. And yeah, so apparently since we're already close to the end, I unfortunately won't be able to have the session that I planned for. I had a bunch of questions I was going to ask, but it's okay. We can do that next time, no problem. But the one person that I would like to ask a question who I believe does not have a role is, it's a tough one. I don't know who to choose. Haseen Ahmed, I choose you.
You can find the guest as well.
Definitely. But I want to show the guests how table topics works first, so that way they can see it for sure how it goes. So table topics are like impromptu speeches. You only have around 1 to 2 minutes to say something. So we'll begin a demonstration, and I'm going to give the topic to Mr. Haseen Ahmed. So Mr. Ahmed, your topic of the day is, if you could accomplish something in life, what would that accomplishment be and why? So that's your question. Sorry about that phone call. You're on mute, Mr. Haseen. You're on mute.
Thank you, table topic master. It's a very interesting topic, that if I have to change something, then I would like to change myself, because I cannot change the world. The only thing is to change myself. So I have to change my inner one so that it will reflect it into outer world. So the same thing, that I cannot force anyone to change in the outer world. What I cannot change that what to do, what not to do. But I have, if something is going to happen to me, then I can change my response, that how I'm responding to others, rather than to reacting that what has to be done, or you have to do this, or what you have. So definitely, if there will be a choice, is to choose, my choice would be to change myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Haseen. A great answer and very insightful response. Yeah, I believe that's actually the hardest thing to do. Like, we so much try to change for others, but no, why don't we try to change for ourselves? Right? Why don't we make something easier for us? And like how Ms. Kieran said, that if you want to succeed in something, you have to strive for it. If you don't strive, you won't succeed. And also, plan for failure too, because if you don't, not only do you fail, you like how Mr. Madan Uncle said, you take it as a learning experience, not as a failing experience, because each failure can lead to success down the road. So with that, I would have to conclude my session as a table topics master due to the limited constraint of time. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and I hope to do it in the future meetings. Back to you. Miss Toastmaster of the day. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Bukhari, for being flexible and just doing one table topic. I will now invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Ravinder Duggi, for the most important part of the meeting, where we learn to develop that growth mindset and positive mindset so that we can accomplish our goals and achieve success. Over to our general evaluator, Ravinder Duggi.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. My name is Ravinder, and I will be your general evaluator for today. The first part will begin with speech evaluations, and I am now going to introduce our evaluators to present their evaluations of the speakers tonight. I would like to call on our first evaluator, Anupama, to evaluate Madan Chauhan's speech, Fail to Succeed. Over to you, Anupama.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to evaluate Mr. Madan Chauhan, distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Madan Chauhan's speech today. I really love the topic of this speech and the lesson it was giving us. It was really inspiring for all of us because we all go through this all failure things, and this is very learning for us. Do not take failure as failure. Learn lesson from failure and get success. Accomplish our objectives by learning from the failures. In terms of clarity in delivering his speech, it was, as always, Mr. Madan is so clear in saying what he want to give the lesson in his speech. He's very clear in that. We all know that. That is always in his speech, and I really love how he delivered his speech. His vocal variety, very clear. We understand what he want to say and what lesson he want to give us. He is very comfortable, very confident when he was delivering his speech. He was the contents he used in speech were very clear, and it was engaging all the audience. It was really interesting how he provide all the what I would say that whatever lesson, whatever he want to tell us in his speech, he really clearly telling it in interesting way. I love the topic, and I love how he uses examples. He used the name of people who succeed from failures. Even though he used a name of Edison, who failed 1,000 times, but at the end he accomplished the success. He also used the name of Abraham Lincoln, who after failure give the lesson, use the word "do not give up," which was really inspiring for us, and also tell us that we should not give up. Always we can accomplish our goals, we can accomplish success if we have that attitude, do not give up, and always look forward to learn from our failures. He also engaged the audience by asking questions and push us to think that we all have that situations where we have failed on something. But if we keep that attitude, do not give up, and always ready to learn from that failure, we will definitely accomplish the success. And he he also connect his message by adding his own story, where he accomplished at the end, after 6 time failures, in doing his project on time. It was really inspiring speech. I believe if he add little bit of humor in his speech, it will be more inspiring and will be more interested for the audience to listen to this speech. Otherwise, it was wonderful job in delivering this speech today, and I really love this. Thank you, Mr. Madan, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anupama, for a thorough evaluation. Now I'd like to call on our second evaluator, Toastmaster DTM Satish Prabhu, to evaluate Shilpa's speech on the different types of communication styles. Over to you, Satish Prabhu.
Thank you, Madam G. It's a privilege to do evaluation for somebody like Shilpa. Shilpa is one of the younger Toastmasters in our club, but I have seen a drive. She has a thirst to accomplish something. She is racing against time to do something and show that she is capable of doing something great in her life. And I salute you for that, Shilpa. I have seen a lot of growth in you from the time you first started to the speech that you gave today. From the last speech to the speech today, there's a big improvement. Let me begin by using this method: comment, recommend, comment. It's a sandwich method. What are the things that I loved in your speech, Shilpa? Is the title itself, My Communication Style. Very simple, very direct, just like your communication style. You also used a PowerPoint. You are doing a pathway that is about presentation mastery. And I love that you use a PowerPoint to drive your message through the speech. Your PowerPoint slides were simple, very clear, uncluttered, so the message was very clear for us to get. You started by asking us a question, and you also engaged the audience at that point. What I also loved about your speech today, Shilpa, is you stood up. You were well prepared to deliver a very well-organized speech, which was very well structured. You also gave us a lot of good anecdotes. You showed us all the different communication styles and how you use each one of those communication styles in your real life, whether it was professional or at home. So for example, you were direct with your daughter, or you were friendly when you were trying to establish yourself in Canada, or you're analytical at work. So very, very clearly laid out. Your speech was very easy for us to follow. What would I recommend, Shilpa? Please smile. You have a very beautiful face. I saw a lot of tenseness in you. You were very, very tense during the speech. I know you take it seriously, but you need to be a little more easy on yourself and have fun. When you're giving your speech, have fun. And when you do that, it will show and you connect more better with your audience. What I also would like you to do is don't ask for forgiveness. You're not saying sorry. Don't say sorry. You started something, you lost your chain of thought, and then you went on some other chain of thought. So don't do that. Be confident. When you start, you need to have a very powerful beginning and go with it. Don't hesitate. The last point I would like to do is really commend you on a topic that is very well connected with me and I think everybody else. Kudos to you for the PowerPoint and keep bringing that up. You're making huge improvement. Love to see you again. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Satish Prabhu, for encouraging words for Shilpa and a very good evaluation. Now, I would like to call on our third evaluator, Toastmaster Kiran Patola, to evaluate Paul Chima's educational speech. Over to you, Kiran.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Paul, thank you for giving us those wonderful tips on getting ready for the upcoming contest. Who else would be better to hear these tips from? Somebody who has failed, who has learned, who has worked through his failures and gotten from the club level to the area level to the division level. Kudos to you and thank you for doing this. I especially like the simple structure you have used to deliver your message, saying, write, understand your stage and space, and delivery. 3 things. There were some really important tips. In addition to sharing with us the judges' ballot and criteria for good speeches. And I see that by learning and taking tips from what you presented today, it is easy for us to incorporate and use the same techniques at work, and even while talking to angry children, angry partners, and angry teenagers at home. So following that simple structure will allow us to convey our message and to accomplish the goal of good communication with others. I especially liked the video that you had shared. Tips for improvement. As is with everything else, here is something I will ask and I wish you had done is taken into consideration the time frame of your speech. You went over time, taking away time from the table topics section. So perhaps sharing the link on the WhatsApp group or in chat right here in Zoom for members to access it later on and carry the conversation on through a chat in WhatsApp would have given the members the same benefit that they had today while keeping the agenda and time intact. Overall, Paul, thank you for a wonderful information and tips on getting ready for contests. Thank you for sharing resources. And something to remember is practice and pay attention to the timer cards that were shown, the green, yellow, as well as the red. With that, I return it back to the General Evaluator. Back to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Now we'll move on to the second part of the evaluation portion of the meeting for updates from our role players. I would like to call on Hussein Ahmed to give us the grammarian and R counter report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today's word was accomplished or accomplishment, and today's target was accomplished. So there were 20 times we had to use it, so it was used more than that. There are some few words which were pronounced wrong or not in a correct way. So one is the devices. So it was pronounced as devices. So then when we say hand gesture, so it is not only one gesture, it is these gestures. No, to know something, so it is the correct way is a no, but it was pronounced wrongly. And there were some other ways, like in the when we are talking with something in the past, or we are just someone is evaluating someone's speech, so that is the matter of past, so it should be done in the like it was the word was the wants, so actually went. It had to be used as a gave up, so it was used as give up. Then engaged, so these were just only the past and the present tense, like it should be in that way. And another word was used wrong, was the conversation. So so these are the words. Overall, it was a very fantastic meeting, and and I couldn't find, there's a good thing that there were no so many hours. So mostly I was just looking that just to find someone who is using those words, but there are just only one or two the participants who use those words, but overall there was no such words. Thank you so much. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hussein, for your report. I will now call on Rajendran, our quizmaster, to check how well we were paying attention to the meeting today. Over to you, Rajendran.
Thank you, Ms. Toastmaster. So this section, Quizmaster is to test the audience listening skills. It's going to be a question and answer session. And I have a few questions based on what we discussed in the last 2 hours. So the first question is, how many persons were there or mentioned by Paul in his story? Like, he initially started the joke with the story, and then how many persons were there?
4.
Thank you. And today we have a wonderful guest with us, and is Dave. How long Dave has been living in Canada since he moved?
10 years.
12 years.
12 years is the correct. And the third question is, what's the Madan Ji's pathway? Like he delivered a speech today, and he delivered a speech for his pathway. What was the pathway that he chose?
Persuasive.
Persuasive influence.
Yeah, good. And according to Madan Ji, how many times Edison failed during his invention?
1009.
1000. That's a correct answer. And so according to, once again, Madan Ji, so the US President Lincoln, what was his, what did he say? Or like, what was the best saying that he ever said?
Never give up.
Never give up. Yeah. So Shilpa today delivered a speech about the communication styles, and in that, like, how many types of communication styles were presented in the
4.
correct answer. And so in the same, sorry, in Paul's presentation, he actually shared the components of the speech, the important components of the speech. So how many components were there?
3.
4.
Yeah. 3 is the right answer.
3.
So what's the name of the international speech?
Verity Price.
Verity. Thank you. That's, yeah. That's all about I have. And thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Rajendran. Some very good questions. Now I will hand it over to Toastmaster Paul Chima to give us the timers report. Over to Paul. Over to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Madam GE. All speakers were well in time. Madan Chauhan took 6 minutes 58 seconds. Shilpa took 6 minutes 52 seconds. Paul took 10 minutes 43 seconds plus 20 minutes. Table topic, Haseen took 58 seconds. Evaluations, Anupama 4 minutes 29 seconds. Satish 4 minutes 5 seconds. Kiran 2 minutes 34 seconds. That's all I have got for today.
Thank you for the speedy evaluation of your timers report, Paul. Appreciated. So now I will provide you my general evaluation of the meeting, and I will also summarize just in being mindful of the time. So the Zoom meeting link was provided on Saturday, well in advance of the meeting, and the agenda was published today. And I understand it is difficult to coordinate everyone's time, and I encourage all members to try and accept roles ahead of time so that the agenda can be finalized as much as possible. The meeting started a little late. There were some hiccups, some technical difficulties, and I have to say that they were addressed swiftly. A great accomplishment for the host and co-host, and for filling roles fairly quickly as well. So good job on that. The Zoom presence for everybody overall was good, and I take heed to Paul's suggestions during his speech to improve our backgrounds. And so I will definitely be working on that. I also like that the speeches from all participants were delivered with the participants standing up and with the appropriate effective background or slides. And I have to say, everyone commanded their virtual stage and were engaging and drew the audience in. I really, really want to, big shout out to all of the 3 speakers, because each one of you shared some golden nuggets for us to use. Madan Uncle failed to succeed. You tied your speech into the meeting theme, but also gave us excellent way to look at life in terms of succeeding or failing to succeed. Shilpa, thank you so much for sharing the 4 key communication styles. And to also add to Toastmaster Kiran's comments, it really helped the audience to understand that we can't use just one style to be truly effective. The vocal variety and volume was very effective throughout the meeting. I found that the educational section was very informative, and not only will this help contestants, I encourage all members to use these slides to guide you in your regular club speeches. I know I will. So it was a great idea to include the video to demonstrate what a world-class speech looks like. And I would agree with Kiran, just in the interest of time, to perhaps provide it as a link. But it was excellent overall. So to help improve the online meetings, I have a couple of suggestions. Practicing using Zoom whenever you have some time, which includes how to navigate for your roles, such as to live stream or to record. And secondly, to pay attention to the timing as the meeting progresses, and I would like to set a challenge for everybody to begin and end the meeting timely. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'll hand the meeting back to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Ravinder. Definitely great tips for the club to improve and grow collectively as a whole, as well as tips for individuals to improve. I will not take a lot of time. Being conscious of the time, let us look at the audience poll, what it says today. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, everyone. The best speaker for today, as voted by the audience, is Toastmaster Paul Chima. Paul, congratulations. And now the best evaluator, as voted by the audience. The audience, thank you for voting my evaluation to be the best. Thank you very much. Although there was no poll for best table topics master, I think our one and only one table topic speaker deserves attention and applause for thinking on his feet and coming up with golden nuggets to inspire all of us. The theme for today's meeting was success belongs to those who strive for it. I will end my part of the session today by saying, is everybody ready to strive to fail? Yes.
Yes.
We are all ready. So with a positive mindset, I will say, let's leap into our future days, getting ready to fail and having and developing a positive mindset. I will now return it back to our president for closing remarks. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Can we get a big round of applause for the Toastmaster of the day? She came in, she saw, and she conquered. She wasn't even aware she was the Toastmaster of the day. Awesome, awesome job, Kiran. And to all the role players, very, very wonderful the way you all conducted yourself, and especially to Paul for conducting that educational session. I'm sure this was something that you would not get even if you paid for it. So please watch it again, because there is a recording that was made, and those who are contesting, I'm sure you can go back to that recording and watch it again and prepare yourself, look at the point, the nuggets that he gave us, and get ready for your speech. And one thing I would remind everyone, we are all contesting against ourselves. We are not contesting with the rest of the club. You are contesting to make yourself better. So don't be intimidated by the more powerful contestants. Oh, he's a DTM, he's a veteran. Don't have that inferiority complex in yourself. You are in a club, you are a paid member, you qualify, participate, and that experience that you get just by contesting is enough for you to be a better person as a communicator or as a leader. So with that, I would like to take this opportunity to wish each and every contestant who's going to participate next meeting all the best, and may the best person win, and may each one of you who is a winner come out as a better person. Before I close, I would like to invite our guests with their remarks. Mr. Devdutt, how did you feel with the meeting today? Can you give us your feedback in a short?
Yeah. It's a nice meeting, so I learned a lot of things from this meeting. So I also come to know about the different roles you are playing, because something new for me, because somebody is playing, okay, I know only the parts that, okay, somebody is speaking and somebody is giving the feedback, but the way the feedback is given is very impressive. So it's not only encourage the speaker that for the improvement, as well as is giving an enthusiasm so that he will prepare and the speech more effectively and with the more enthusiasm. So yeah, definitely it's a good way to encourage the speakers. And I also noticed that, okay, the time commitment. So in everything, yeah, it's a time commitment. So most of the time we are committed to that time which is given to us. And overall, I like the way you are running this Toastmaster.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Devdutt. You know, you are welcome to come back and visit the club.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have to make a decision today, but if you are convinced, Muhammad Bukhari will be the most happy person to do your paperwork. But if you're not convinced and you want to come and experience, one more time to make a decision, you're welcome to come back next Sunday. Not the next Sunday, the Sunday after.
Yeah, 5th.
We have a contest, so you can come and see a different format of the meeting. So you will experience something completely different as well. So please do visit us. You will see
definitely
something else. and how the contests are run, and you will see a lot of new faces as well. So with that, I would like to ask anybody else if there are anything they would like to say, or is there something that I missed to address?
I was going to ask something.
Sure.
For sure. All these speeches, we have 3 of them. I know they have recorded. Can that be put on WhatsApp group one by one instead of one link?
Mr. Chauhan, this recording has to be converted.
Yeah, sure. Whenever. I'm not saying
if
now.
it was a Zoom videos, YouTube, it could go right away. But because we couldn't find the way to run live stream, but yes, it will be done maybe by tomorrow or day after.
Sure, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
we'll
expecting today.
Yeah,
Thank
Kiran
you.
has her hand.
Thank you,
Kiran
Paul.
raised her hand.
Thank you, Paul. I know there was a call out for members to put their names forward to participate in the contest. A reminder again to anyone who may have missed that in order to participate in the speech contest, you should have completed either 2 levels in Pathway or delivered 6 speeches in the Competent Communicator Manual, which is the old program, the legacy program. In order to compete in table topics, there is no baseline criteria. The only criteria is that you should be in good standing as a Toastmaster. So everybody here, if you are a member of Toastmasters, you will qualify to contest in our table topics contest. So I strongly recommend you all to take part in the contest. If you qualify for both, contest in both. If you qualify only for table topics, contest in table topics, because participating in contests will develop the confidence we all need to face somebody else in our life. Could be in family, could be at work, could be in the neighborhood. So it is developing some good life skills for us to become confident, competent human beings. So I recommend and I look forward to seeing everyone at the contest. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiran. So with that, I would like to ask our Sergeant at Arms to adjourn the meeting if there is nothing else to discuss.
Thank you.
Please remember, we are going to meet at 5:30 next meeting. So it's not educational, but it will start. We will start with the contest at 5:30. So please make sure that you don't show up at 6 o'clock. You may be late for that then. Show up at 5:30. That's when we will start the contest.
Thank you for clarifying, Toastmaster. So as Satish ji said, the next meeting will be held on December the 5th at 5:30 p.m. Try to be a little earlier so that we can start the meeting on time. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the contest. And thank you once again for all joining today. And with having said that, I'm adjourning this meeting. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Raj.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank
Good
you.
weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Raj has a question. Raj has his finger.
I want to ask, are we going to have a practice session before we do this contest? I mean, I've never been part of any contest, so I just wanted to.
No, there basically we will have to have a Zoom master control the entire meeting, and I'm not sure if we're recording that session, but I think we should record that as usual. But let it stream live on YouTube. If you have any issues, Raj couldn't find out how to do it, let me know. I can help you figure that out. Yes, Kiran?
Paul, I don't think we should live stream it, especially because it is a contest, and it's contest speeches are usually never recorded unless it is the very final.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Only
They won't
because
allow
you
us to
have
record.
other members from the area watching you. You know, could be your competitor. So I would recommend
right.
not recording or live streaming.
You're right. They don't even allow recording. I remember that.
Yeah.
They will refuse. No, they won't. Thank you very much for correcting that. So no recording for the next meeting. But these recordings are just for our own development, and now where we lab lagged, what we need to do. Yep.
Yep, Shilpa.
Yes, Shilpa.
Is the registration complete for the participants or
No, you can tell us whenever you're ready. Let us
You
know.
can,
I think we have a deadline though, because a lot goes into planning. What was the deadline, Kiran? Do you remember?
It's okay. We can take in last minute nominations as well. That is fine, Shilpa. I know you have 2 more speeches to deliver. So those 2 speeches between now and the contest day. So during the week, any day that you are ready to deliver, you still have your leadership speech to complete and you have your mentoring speech to complete. So when we looked at where you are, these were the 3 you needed to complete. You finished your communication styles. You will have your leadership style speech to complete. You will also have your mentoring speech. So I would say during this week, let us know whenever you are ready to deliver your speech. I will be there for sure to support you. And we will put out a call to members. Anybody who is available at that time will log into the Zoom meeting. You deliver your speech, there will be an audience. Toastmasters International says you only need 2 people, 1 evaluator and 1 other member in the audience in order for you to call it as an official project.
There's one thing, otherwise Tangri Toastmaster holds meeting every Sunday, 4 to 5 p.m. You can do 1 presentation there and even in my speak if they have a meeting next week. And there are other clubs too, like IPC. We can always put you in there, ask them that we have a guest speaker that who needs to complete pathway. But you need to let us know ASAP so we can put you in there. There are so many clubs, they will take your speeches. Otherwise,
when should I tell you, inform you? One day
whenever
before.
you feel comfortable, because Tangri holds meeting every Sunday, 4 to 5 p.m.
Okay.
So they will have meeting next Sunday too.
Okay.
Right, so you can give 1 speech there. You can give other speech. Me, Kiran, Satish, we all can be available for you.
Yeah.
I think
we can
so
do a
far,
mini meeting. Yeah, if it doesn't work for you Sundays, I know some other days won't work for you, then we can definitely just for your 2 speeches so that you can compete. And I like the eagerness and the drive you have, the enthusiasm you've shown, Shilpa. That itself is encouraging for us. So we will help you to get you to complete your level 2 so that you can compete. So,
and you will learn a lot in the speech contest. It is amazing opportunity to be there.
Okay, let me try. Yeah, I'll just update you before for Sunday. I can update you on Saturday, right?
Just send us a message in the group. You can address us anyone, and you use at sign, and then a name pops up. You can tag me, Kiran, Satish, anyone. We will be there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So see you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Bye everyone. Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Bye.
So how are you going to send me the because it's a very big file.
Be stored in the cloud. Let me check.
Let me ask you one thing. If you are looking at more tab there, at the far right end, there is something called MORE. Don't you see that?
No.
Security, participants, chat, screen, polls, pause, stop recording. Let's stop the recording for now.
Hold on. Yeah.